Hey, what's up, you guys? Choose in the Rainbow Room. I am going to be going through my very, very small book collection, maybe turning a few pages, and I'm going to be chewing double mint, spearmint, double mint gum, Wrigley's double mint gum. We'll get started now. I've referenced this book before. It's called The Power of Now. Hoping I can get a thumbnail out of that. Anyway, this is by Eckhart Tolle. It's a guide to spiritual enlightenment. Deepak Chopra said, "It's one of the best books to come along in years. Every sentence rings with truth and power." I turned to a random page earlier, and I just wanted to read this. Fear seems to have many causes: fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of being hurt, and so on. But ultimately, all fear is the ego's fear of death, of annihilation. To the ego, death is always just around the corner. In this mind-identified state, fear of death affects every aspect of your life. For example, even such a seemingly trivial and normal thing as the compulsive need to be right in an argument and make the other person wrong. Defending the mental position with which you have identified is due to the fear of death. If you identify with the mental position, then if you are wrong, your mind-based sense of self is seriously threatened with annihilation. So you, as the ego, cannot afford to be wrong. To be wrong is to die. Wars have been fought over this, and countless relationships have been broken down. And, I don't know why I just turned to that and thought I would pick that little part. But it talks a lot about the ego and, how we can get out of our mind and into the present. It's a really, really good book. And some of the things. Some of the topics are consciousness, the way out of pain. You are not your mind. Moving deeply into the now. Mind strategies for avoiding the now. The state of presence. The inner body. Portals into the unmanifested. Enlightened relationships. Beyond happiness and unhappiness, there is peace. The meaning of surrender. I would highly recommend this book, but I'm gonna move on. I've shown you this one before, I think. 100 Greatest Albums by VH1. This was a book that one of my friends got for me for my birthday. It's got a lot of different albums like Stevie Wonder, The Beatles, Bob Dylan, more Beatles and more Beatles, Rolling Stones, The Who, The Velvet Underground. I love The Velvet Underground. Public Enemy. Michael Jackson, Thriller, of course. Lauryn Hill. Hotel California. Well, the Eagles. Aretha Franklin. You know what? I'm gonna grab another piece of gum. I I need to chew more. But yeah, that's VH1's 100 Greatest Albums. I haven't read that whole thing yet. And I haven't read this one either. Dan Brown's Angels and Demons. It was the follow-up to the Da Vinci Code, which I do have. It's coming up later. But what's it say? From the #1 New York Times best-selling author of the Da Vinci Code comes the explosive thriller that started it all. Oh my, I'm sorry, not a follow-up. Shows you how much I know. An ancient secret brotherhood. That sounds good to me already. A devastating new weapon of destruction. An unthinkable target when world-renowned Harvard symbologist Robert Langdon is summoned to his first assignment to a Swiss research facility to analyze a mysterious symbol seared into the chest of a murdered physicist. He discovers evidence of the unimaginable, the resurgence of an ancient secret brotherhood known as the Illuminati, the most powerful underground organization ever to walk the earth. The Illuminati has now surfaced to carry out the final phase of its legendary vendetta against its most hated enemy, the Catholic Church. Langdon's worst fears are confirmed on the eve of the Vatican's Holy Conclave, when a messenger of the Illuminati announces they have hidden an unstoppable time bomb at the very heart of Vatican City. With the countdown underway, Langdon jets to Rome to join forces with Vittoria Vetra, a beautiful and mysterious Italian scientist, to assist the Vatican in a desperate bid for survival. Oh yeah. It's probably a pretty decent book. Unfortunately, I've never read it. But Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. Okay, let's move on. Oh my God, I hate when I come across old media, old stuff, and there's stains on it. I almost don't want to show this, but fuck it. You can't tell. Yeah, you can tell a little bit. Let me tilt it from the light so you can't see the stain. This is Boy George's autobiography called Take It Like a Man. I have read this book twice, of course. In this electrifying autobiography, Boy George tells the whole truth for the first time. And that he does. And does so with total candor and irrepressible wit. Take It Like a Man is a story of the crazy highs and desperate lows, the family struggles, friends and lovers, gay, straight, and transvestite, the obsessive media infatuation, as well as the agony, shame, and despair of a drug withdrawal, filled with confession, revelation, and inspiration. This book reflects the utter creativity of its author and tells a mesmerizing story of how George achieved the nearly impossible by coming back from the land of the deeply addicted to health, sobriety, and a new horizon of musical success. His is an unfinished journey. I love the book. I could read it again, actually. Boy George, Take It Like a Man. Okay, I've read this one too. I'm a big Salt and Pepper fan. This is Pepper's book. Let's talk about Pep. The Salt and Pepper superstar tells it how it is. Funny, fearless, and full of life, Sandy Pepper Denton is a pop culture icon whose remarkable story is every bit as captivating and provocative as her Grammy Award winning music. This is the real Peppa, upfront, uncensored, unstoppable, and these are the memoirs of a true pioneer, fighter, survivor, and inspiration to women everywhere. For the first time, Peppa talks about her troubled childhood, surviving abuse, her first encounters with Cheryl Salt James, Salt-N-Pepa's instant success, her failed marriages and her escape from domestic abuse, her breakup with Salt and their eventual reunion, her triumphant comeback on the VH1 reality shows, the Surreal Life Fame Games, and the Salt-N-Pepa Show. This is a great book. And rapper Tretch, he tried very hard to downplay stuff in the book that she put in the book, but she would have no reason to lie about it. Anyway, I love this book. I've probably read it twice. Let's talk about Pep by Sandy Pepper Denton. I got this book, but I didn't read all of it, and I really want to. My Life in 3 Acts, Pam Grier's autobiography. The memoir is called Foxy. She looked great on the cover. Some may know her as hot, gutsy, gun-toting Foxy Brown, Friday Foster, Coffee, and Jackie Brown. Others may know her from her role as Kit Porter on The L Word, but that only defines one part of the legend that is Pam Grier. In particularly candid. Wait a minute. Foxy has Pam's testimony of her life, past and present. In it, she reveals her relationships with Richard Pryor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Freddie Prinze Sr., among others. She unveils her experiences as a backup singer and a blaxploitation star. In particularly candid and shocking chapters, she shares for the first time her view of those films and the persecution that blacks, especially women, needed to endure to make a name for themselves, including how it felt to be labeled one of the most beautiful women alive, yet not be permitted to try on clothes in a department store because of the color of her skin. And in words sure to inspire many, she tells the story of her ongoing battle with cancer. Maybe one day I'll read it, but I love Pam Grier. Foxy. These books are dusty. I can see the dust. The Da Vinci Code, now, by Dan Brown. When this book came out, everyone I knew and their mother literally were reading this book. And I didn't know. It just didn't seem like anything I would be interested in until I started hearing coworkers talk about it. And you know that feeling when you feel like you're missing out on something? That's how I felt. So I bought this book. First I was like, damn, it's kind of a big book. It is the best and easiest read ever. Let's see. It says fact. The Priory of Sion, a European secret society founded in 1099, is a real organization. In 1975, I'm gonna fuck up these words here. Paris's Bibliothèque Nationale discovered parchments known as Les Dossiers Secrets, identifying numerous members of the Priory of Sion, including Sir Isaac Newton, Botticelli, Victor Hugo, and Leonardo da Vinci. I am thinking this was what they referred to in Angels and Demons as the Illuminati. Maybe, I don't know, but the Vatican prelature, known as Opus Dei, is a deeply devout Catholic sect that has been the topic of recent controversy due to reports of brainwashing, coercion, and a dangerous practice known as corporal mortification. Opus Dei has just completed construction of a $47 million national headquarters at 243 Lexington Avenue in New York City. All descriptions of artwork, architecture, documents, and secret rituals in this novel are accurate. Wow. This is a great read, I'm telling you. If you have not read this book yet, this is one I can claim that I've read and that it is really, really good. Lots of praise for it. Okay. My last book, a book that I haven't really read all the way through, but I got it at the Goodwill for $1.97. The Soulful Divas by David Nathan. You would think I'd have gone through this book, but not really. Oh, I'm spitting, sorry. There is a forward in here. Well, let me show you some of these women that are in the book. Can you make out? I was playing her yesterday, right here, right there. You can't really tell, but that's Millie Jackson. I was playing her at work yesterday. Nina Simone, I think, is in here. Aretha Franklin, Phyllis Hyman, Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan is in the corner, Gladys Knight, Whitney Houston, Dionne Warwick, Toni Braxton. I'm trying to find the forward by Luther Vandross. It's kind of a long forward. Find out that Diana Ross loves Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles with extra gravy, no less, was the first thing that put a tear in my eye. I just knew there was a reason I loved the Supremes. It was so insightful to hear my friend Patti LaBelle speak about her proximity to other female artists in terms of success. At times in my career, I too could relate to what she felt about her own struggle for mainstream recognition. After reading David's observations on her, I wanted to pick up the phone and say, Patty, I'll tell you what, I told an interviewer once. If there was an intergalactic singing competition, I would suggest that Earth sends Patti LaBelle. Naturally, I was curious to see how David, meaning the author David Nathan, a longtime friend of mine, would characterize my feud with Anita Baker. Well, no matter what he heard or what he said about it in his chapter on Miss Baker, one thing has always remained very clear about me and Anita, and that's that I have total respect for her voice and talent. Now that makes me want to go find the chapter on Anita Baker and see what the fuck that's about. I'd heard about a feud between those two on a tour once, but I never read the actual this book to see anything. I think I want to read that. The Soulful Divas by David Nathan. So, believe it or not, I know there are a few other books, but I didn't want to take those out. These were the ones that I felt were really interesting to me. Some that I read and maybe would like to read or even go back to. But anyway, that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there was enough gum chewing and enough page turning. Probably not that much. But I still hope that you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys soon. Okay.